Hello everyone, Sai here. Thank you so much for joining me for my continuation of Kendra Card Challenge number 9. I am definitely taking my time having fun with these, and this is the next the next 4 cards that are part of this series. I am still using the Pink and Main's card kit from May 2022, and the background that I have here with the blue on the top, the green in the middle, and then the transition in the center, that is a stencil that comes in this kit. So I did cut the center out of it because I'm going to keep that for future projects. It's just too pretty to waste it. The border die, on the other hand, is not. That's a Lawn Fawn die that I've cut out of some white cardstock, just because I didn't have any swirly dies as in the sketch. So I decided just to create my own, and that's just a border die that I've cut on the top and the bottom. I am then just following the sketch by creating a circle and matting it on some black cardstock. I felt the black was not adding too many extra colors to the card, and then I can just tie it in with a stamped image of some foliage. The Thinking of You is a die that also comes in this card kit, and I just cut it out of some blue cardstock that I had in my stash. This is not the blue that comes in the kit. And then to tie it in, I've hole punched some cardstock that I had used the same ink as in the background, and then that creates the little circles, and I'm just using those as my little embellishments, just adding some little dots here and there. And that is going to conclude this card. This is card number 7, as you see on the right. I followed it pretty closely. There you go. Okay, card number 8. I definitely do not have that shape that's sitting in the middle of this sketch, so I am going to just use a rectangle. I did heat set this pink cardstock with some gold. It's moving a little too fast, you probably didn't see it, but it's just a thin line on the outside of the pink cardstock. Pretty much what you do is you just take your cardstock and slide it across the embossing ink pad, and that will create a nice thin line. You don't need to push it too hard. And then you just add your embossing powder. In my case, I use gold, and then you heat set that, and it creates this nice fine line around the edge. It looks really nice, and I have done it on a few other cards in this series. The colored cardstock, the pink and this beautiful green, is all from this card kit, and so I'm utilizing that to try to match the pattern paper as much as possible. So that means in this case, I'm focusing on the pinks and greens. And I did fussy cut, or stamped and fussy cut, some of the foliage from the stamp set off camera, and then I'm just creating a little cluster on the left hand side there, so that when I put my sentiment down, it's not just floating there. It kind of has a little bit something to ground it with. And then I did heat and set some butterflies from the stamp set as well, and those were my embellishments for this card. Card number 9. You can see I did cut a hole in the center of this black. That is because I am going to be covering it, and I did need it for the diamond / square for the center of the card. This is an embossing folder that also comes in the card kit. there was a lot of stuff in this May 2022 card kit, which I believe would be long gone by now, but this is an embossing folder. If they have it in their shop, I will link to it, but I'm not sure if they sold it individually. Using the stamp set, I'm just going to show you I'm not going to show you the whole process, but I'm just going to show you how I added my stamp image to this diamond, and just taking one of the images and going right to the bottom there. I don't want to cover the whole square. I just want it kind of look like it's coming from, just peeking into the view. And now I'm just going to start putting this card together. It's a very simple card, just focusing on that sketch quite closely and using my black as my matte layers. You can definitely not go wrong with using black in your cards. It just makes it really elegant, and especially if you have little pops of color like I do, it really makes it look nice. I am going to pop this up with some foam tape. This is my U-line tape that I have. It's quite thin, and so it won't pop it up too much, which is what I like, and also, if I wanted to do more than one layer, having this really thin tape is quite useful. And then I'm just going to pop that in right into the center there. I am not going to be adding the banner or the dots on the corner there. I'm going to instead do my dots in just a little splatter on the top right and the bottom left using the purple. These do come in the kit as well. Okay, for card number 10, and the last one in this video, you'll notice there's a hole in the center. It's because I did want to create a sentiment using this color, but it didn't die cut very well, and then it got all ripped and everything. So I decided just to cut it out in some black. I didn't want to waste another piece of orange. So when that happens, you just keep moving forward. Black is definitely a good alternative. I did stamp this off camera, and what I did was I just put the two pattern pieces together because they're going to be very close in the design, except there's going to be a little orange banner or strip that blocks it. So I wanted the silhouette images to flow nicely. I do have to be a little bit careful because I am not letting this ink to dry. So it's VersaFine clear ink, and it stays wet for a little bit because it's perfect for embossing. So I'm just being very careful not to touch anything so I don't get little black fingerprints all over the card. I am going to use the sentiment again, the Thinking of You, which came in this kit, as well as the shadow bubble piece. And I'm just going to cut that in white and then place that right in the top there. I'm not going to be doing hearts for this. I'm going to stick with what's in the kit as much as possible. So I just put that sentiment right at the top there. The reason I decided to use the shadow piece this time was just so that the black kind of had a little bit of a difference from the background, because the background is pretty light. I did take one of the sprigs and butterflies and I just cut those out off camera using the stamps. And all the colors, I tried to follow the pattern paper that I use for each of these cards. And that is card number 10. So that is all of them for today. I do hope you enjoy the process of creating these next 4 cards. I just have to now finish the last of the collection of Kendra Cards number 9. I do hope you enjoyed this. I hope you had some fun seeing what I have done with this Pink and Main card kit. And until the next time, have a wonderful, beautiful day. And I'll talk to you all later. Take care. Bye.